Now at 10, for the first time in 5 years, the White House plays host to leaders from Canada and Mexico for a North American summit. Plus, a fire at Silver Dollar City forces visitors out of the park. We'll tell you when it'll reopen.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Silver Dollar City shut down for the day due to a fire. This is KOAM News at 10. Workers discovered the fire that spread from Heartland Home Furnishings to Flossie's Fried Fancies in the lower western portion of the park. 3 buildings were damaged. Authorities are still working to determine the exact cause of the fire. The park will open tomorrow as scheduled. Checking in with Doug Hetty now for a first look at the weather.
Cold outside. Most of us are dropping upper 20s to lower 30s at this point in time, but we do have clear skies across the region. 51 was our high, which isn't bad. It was just chilly today, but at least we had the sunshine, and then now we're sitting right around 30 degrees. But we have clear skies across the entire area, really the entire Central Plains. We're going to be pretty quiet over the next couple days, and then we'll get another wave in here Saturday night into Sunday morning. Look at our temps, anywhere from 30 to about 34, a few upper 20s out there, so temperatures are going to continue to drop off. The winds are kind of diminishing, but still we have a very light northerly wind. And then by morning, 27 degrees, 40 by 10, 50 by noon. High temp a little bit better, right around 54 degrees. So we're going to look at the weekend. We're going to look at Thanksgiving, talk about a partial lunar eclipse as well. All coming up here in just a bit.
See you then. For the first time in 5 years, the leaders of the U.S., Canada, and Mexico sat down together for a 3-way summit. President Biden wants to build back a good trilateral partnership among the 3 nations after relations were strained under the previous administration. The president says the 3 have discussed several major issues, including the economy, COVID-19, and climate change. Skylar Henry reports from the White House.
President Biden welcomed Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador to the White House. The president first met with each leader one-on-one.
It's an honor to welcome our 2 closest neighbors to the White House today.
Then all 3 sat down together for the first North American Leaders Summit since 2016. Economic cooperation is at the top of the agenda for the group sometimes referred to as the 3 Amigos.
We have to drive an inclusive economic recovery.
Another major topic is the COVID-19 pandemic.
We have to end the pandemic and to take decisive actions to curb the climate crisis.
Canada has raised concerns over the proposed tax credit for American-made electric vehicles, a provision in the president's Build Back Better bill.
The electric vehicle tax credits is an opportunity to help consumers in this country.
U.S. officials have said the 3 leaders wouldn't center their talks around border policy. Instead, they're using the summit as an opportunity to lock arms to mitigate the root causes of migration. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
The leaders of Canada and Mexico also met separately today with Vice President Kamala Harris. The White House chose to forego holding a joint news conference at the end of the 3 Amigos summit. Supply chain issues are behind a number of shortages across the country, but a local homeless shelter says so far it has not had an impact on its holiday plans. The Carthage Crisis Center says they have not seen any shortages. However, they do still need some items, including sweet potatoes. The Crisis Center plans to serve around 300 meals this Thanksgiving. The center is at 100 North Main Street in Carthage. That brings us to today's KOAM News Now Instant Poll question. Have you had any trouble tracking down items for your Thanksgiving dinner? You can participate in this poll at koamnewsnow.com/vote or through the KOAM News mobile app. Results are updated live, and we're going to check in on the final numbers here in just a bit. The Joplin Youth Council is encouraging families to read over Thanksgiving. Council today hosted a literacy event for families with children between the ages of 3 and 10. Families were asked to donate a book that will be passed along to area organizations working with children on reading.
We have like a literacy initiative, primarily just trying to increase literacy within the Joplin area and also promote a love for learning and reading. So this is just our first kickoff event where we just hope to engage the youth within our community.
To join the Joplin Youth Council, a student must be a Joplin resident and in 10th through 12th grade at a Joplin school. Watered Gardens hosted its annual Empty Bowls fundraiser today at Joplin's Empire Market. As in years past, people can buy handcrafted soup bowls, then fill them with soup from area restaurants. We send photojournalist Derek Neidig there to learn more.
Our 9th annual Empty Bowls here at the Empire Market. This is an event where local potters for the whole year have been making these bowls. They're all handcrafted, they're microwave safe, they're dishwasher safe. Each one's unique, and they donate them. So we've had over 1,000 bowls donated from over 9 different pottery studios.
Of course you can. Once you take that and let her see that, take the lid off and let her see that. You know, give it a, you want him to stir it, and you can kind of see it's smoked chicken and dumplings. So this is a huge asset for Hope Kitchen. This is quite a benefit for our organization because we are a nonprofit. This is one of those opportunities where we get to partner with Watered Gardens through the Empty Bowls fundraiser, and part of the proceeds from this event go to help Hope Kitchen stay open and keep doing what we're doing in Neosho.
20 area restaurants provided the soup for today's event. Still ahead, the Pitt State women put on a show in their home opener against the St. Mary Spires. And later, the role antidepressants could play in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic.
The Pittsburgh State women's basketball team is 1-1 in their first 2 games of the season. After being on the road for the first 2, the Gorillas play at home this afternoon for the first time this season. Pitt State hits the floor against the St. Mary Spires. Early on, the seniors leading the way. Julia Johnson off the pass from Jamie Jackson. Still in the first quarter, Tristan Gegg knocks it down from 3. Then another senior, Aaron Davis, hits from deep. Gorillas up 8 after 1. They really got going in the second. Sydney Crane, good first half, 8 points, 4 boards, 5 assists. Pitt State leads 51-29 at the break. The second half now, freshman Grace Pyle hits the 3 from the far side. Huge game for her, more on that in a second. Jenna Shipley did work today on the glass. 9 offensive boards, finished with 12 points, 9 rebounds. Jamie Jackson also efficient today. She goes 5 for 9 from the floor, finishes with 15. But back to Grace Pyle, her first home game in a Gorilla uniform, 5 for 8 from 3. The freshman leads the team with 19 points and 8 rebounds. Gorillas win 99-57, highlighted by Pyle's performance and Jenna Shipley's near double-double with 12 points and 9 rebounds.
She was super aggressive offensively, which I love. And then, she had 3 assists, so she, shared the basketball after some of her offensive boards. 9 is an outstanding number for just offensive rebounds. I mean, talk about having your teammates back. And so I think that is outstanding for Jenna. And as you can see from all of her teammates, they're so happy for her, and that just tells you what kind of person she is.
Jenna's one of my favorite people in this world. She's awesome. She works her butt off. Every practice, she's the hardest person to box out. So we were just waiting for her to have a game like that. I mean, 9 offensive boards is insane. You don't see that very often.
The Kansas Jayhawks hit the floor at home tonight, aiming to stay perfect through 3 games. KU 2-0 hosting Stony Brook this evening. Jayhawks win at 88-59. Ochai Agbaji scores a team-high 25 points. The Carl Junction girls basketball team is 11 days away from their first game of the season. The Bulldogs head into their schedule with experience and some high expectations. Danny Terzer catches up with the team as they prepare to make another postseason run this winter.
The Carl Junction Bulldogs are gearing up for what they hope is yet another dominant season.
There's a lot of pressure and stigma, I think, around our team just because of our teams in the past. And so being a part of a couple of those who have been super successful has just, I think, made us want to work harder every day. And hopefully we rise to the occasion and just do our best.
Good move. Good move.
Carl Junction has won 6 straight district championships. Last year, they finished the season 18-9.
Our kids kind of understand how to play the game, and when it gets kind of tight and the pressure, feel the pressure and mounts up, our girls do a great job with that. They handle that very well.
The Bulldogs are returning 4 starters from last year's district championship team.
It definitely helps a lot with just trusting each other on the court, and just the energy we have together on the court really has an impact on how we play.
Run and see if you get something out of this.
We already have that leadership, so to be able to show the girls who are new just kind of what our team is about helps us so much from the start.
Hands up, hands up!
Destiny Bergey returns for her junior season. Bergey led the Bulldogs last season, averaging about 25 points per game.
Being able to score in high amounts, but at the same time get others involved so that they can score high amounts, I think will be a big key for her.
I just hope that I can still make my teammates better and push them to be the best and just play my game and not stress about anything.
The Bulldogs also get Kylie Scott back. Scott missed part of last season due to an injury.
She can average a double-double. She can rebound the ball very well. She can score it well. Obviously, her size at 6'1" and her athleticism give her an advantage over a lot of kids. She's a matchup nightmare for some teams. She brings so much energy and so much discipline inside the paint. She can also shoot it well from outside, so we're excited to see what she can do.
In Carl Junction, Danny Terzer, KOAM Sports.
Carl Junction opens the season hosting the CJ Classic beginning on November 29th. Pittsburgh State quarterback Max Sexton is entering the transfer portal and leaving the team after 4 seasons with the program. Sexton made 10 starts this year, throwing for 2,180 yards and 16 touchdowns, both career highs. Sexton racked up 4,883 passing yards in 3 seasons playing for the Gorillas, which puts him 6th all-time on the PSU career passing list. He leaves Pittsburgh State with 2 years of eligibility remaining. Sticking with PSU football, cornerback Dallas Flowers has accepted an invite to play in the East-West Shrine Bowl. Flowers can do it all. He was a first-team All-MIAA pick this year for the Gorillas, the team high 4 interceptions at defensive back. He was also second-team All-MIAA as a kick returner. The East-West Shrine Bowl will be in Las Vegas in February. I really do think he's got a chance to earn himself a pro contract. He's a good player. He did. He's a good player.
Good to see him get to continue playing, even if the Gorillas don't get to
for sure.
As a whole. Later, a new study calls for more research into the loss of taste and smell caused by COVID-19.
Plus, a cold night for us tonight. When are we going to start to warm up? We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be a chilly day for us today, but not bad. At least we had the sunshine across the region, so we'll take that. We're heading into Friday. Fridays are always a nice day, which is always a good, nice shot of Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, temps. It's cold. Already, we're into the upper 20s to lower 30s, and most of us will go into the mid-20s later on tonight. And we do have clear skies. We have a partial lunar eclipse. It's almost a total lunar eclipse, but it is the longest eclipse that we have had in over 500 years. It lasts almost 6 hours, so it starts right after midnight. Our peak is kind of 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning, and there will be just a little bit of a sliver of the moon left if you want to go outside in the cold at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Most people will be sleeping. All right, the winds. Kind of breezy for us today. Very light northerly winds. They're kind of starting to switch back toward the south. And with that happening, that's going to help our temperatures warm up a little bit more as we go into the next couple days. It's not warm right now. 33. Dew point is at 23. So our temperature is going to end up probably 26, 27 as the dew point comes up just a little bit through the overnight hours. But clear skies, nothing going on here, really nothing across the entire Central Plains. Storm system from yesterday exiting the area. Next system, Pacific Northwest, also another fairly weak system, but it'll drag another cold front down by the time we head into Sunday and cool us back down early next week. Let's go through time. Through the overnight hours tonight, clear skies, cold, mid-20s. Southerly winds pick up a bit tomorrow. Clouds increase during the afternoon, but it's going to be a pretty good Friday. Here's your day planner. Starting at 27, 50 by noon. High temp of 54. We're going to have south winds at about 5 to 15. Still partly cloudy skies for us tomorrow night. Not near as cold, lower 40s. And then as we go into Saturday, Saturday is actually going to look pretty good. We're going to have partly sunny skies, and I think we'll go into lower 60s for highs. And then that next cold front will slide in Saturday night into Sunday morning. A few random little showers. Most of us will end up staying on the dry side, but still something we'll keep our eyes on as we go through the next couple days. So that system works through. That means cooler conditions for Monday and then we go the other way. Tuesday, we start to warm up. Wednesday, we start to warm up. Slight chance for a little bit of rain. Next storm system rolls in on Thanksgiving, so we're going to have rain increasing during the day on Thursday. Doesn't matter. Most people are inside watching football, eating, of course, Thanksgiving. But the showers are going to start to pick up, and we'll get on the backside of this system. We could even get a little bit of snow trying to mix in by the time we head into Black Friday. So that's something we'll focus our attention on, especially as we get into next week. All right, cold tonight, 54 tomorrow, 61 Saturday, hair cooler Sunday, cooler on Monday, 47, 57 Tuesday, back into the 60s on Wednesday, and then we start to cool things back down next Thursday and Friday. So just kind of up and down over the next week, but very typical for this time of the year.
That turkey on the graphic seems way too excited.
Yeah, he has no idea what's coming for him.
I don't think so. Thanks, Jack.
Yep.
Allison Blevins is an adjunct professor at Missouri Southern, and today she released her very own poetry book. Blevins says the book, titled Slowly, Suddenly, deals with trauma, disabilities, and queer experience. The MSSU English and Philosophy Department hosted the release and reading by Blevins.
I think of it as like, almost therapy, and I think that readers feel the same way, that you can make a connection with somebody and go, I've been there, I've experienced that, I know the emotion that's being described there, and that maybe it's a bit of catharsis.
Blevins has been nominated for several awards for her writing. Still ahead, antidepressants could play a role in keeping COVID-19 patients out of hospital beds. And researchers study what they're calling an emerging public health concern connected to this pandemic. The average number of new daily COVID-19 cases is rising again in the U.S., and a new study shows a common medicine may reduce the risk of death in someone infected with the coronavirus. Mandy Gaither has more.
A 24% jump in the average number of new daily COVID-19 cases over the past week in the U.S.
We are not going to be going through this indefinitely. How quickly we get to the end depends on us. How well we vaccinate, how well we get boosted, and how well we do the kinds of things to protect ourselves.
The number of COVID-19 deaths is also inching upward. U.S. health officials say vaccines are the best protection against severe outcomes from the virus. And a new study published in JAMA Network Open finds evidence that people infected with COVID-19 who were already taking certain antidepressants were less likely to die.
These drugs probably have some off-target effect that might have an effect on impact on treating COVID-19.
Marina Sirota is one of the study's authors. She says patients taking medication widely sold under the brand name Prozac were 28% less likely to die from COVID-19. Those taking that medication or a related drug known as fluvoxamine or Luvox were 26% less likely to die.
The idea is that there's probably some link between inflammatory and the immune system and serotonin, and maybe that's why these drugs might be having an effect.
Sirota says it's unclear what causes this possible reduction in death. She says more research is needed to determine that. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
This is not the first study to suggest that these antidepressants may help prevent people from getting sicker from COVID-19. One study done in Paris also saw a connection between the medicine widely sold as Prozac and a reduced risk of death. Other small studies saw similar results. Researchers are studying what they're calling an emerging public health concern connected to the pandemic. JAMA Otolaryngology head and neck surgery published today new research. It focused on COVID patients who lost their sense of smell and taste after contracting the virus. The study estimates between 700,000 and 1.6 million Americans who had the coronavirus either lost or had a change in their sense of smell. For some, the change has lasted for more than 6 months. Most recover their sense of smell eventually, but the study suggests some may never do so. The study calls for more research into the long-term loss of sense of smell. Following a low-calorie diet may be key for adults with type 2 diabetes. Researchers in Scotland found those diets, along with Formula meal replacements were more effective in weight management and diabetes remission than food-based diets alone. A final check on the weather is next. Take time now to honor a local veteran. Sergeant Jared Ludwig served in the U.S. Army. His hometown, Parsons, Kansas, and we are proud to salute Sergeant Jared Ludwig. He's tonight's four-state hero. You can learn about lots of other heroes anytime you like, from currently serving veterans to those who served in any past era. You can also submit a hero of your own anytime. You can do both of those just by going to our website, clicking on the link. It's KOAMNewsNow.com. Hey, let's check in on today's KOAM News Now Insta poll. Have you had any trouble tracking down items for your Thanksgiving dinners? 21% say, yeah, I've had some problems, but the overwhelming majority, 79%, say, no, they have not yet anyway. This poll is now closed. Thank you for participating. Of course, it's very possible that some people haven't yet gone shopping for their Thanksgiving dinner ingredients. The weather getting colder out there.
It is. It's going to get cold tonight. We're going to drop back mid-20s, but we are going to have clear skies throughout the overnight hours. Some clouds starting to increase tomorrow, especially tomorrow afternoon. But it's Friday. Every Friday is Good Friday. And a little bit warmer, 54. Saturday looks fantastic, 61. Cooling back down Sunday and Monday.
And there's that way too happy turkey there on the graphic. Final sports notes.
Big night of high school football tomorrow night. Frontenac, Webb City, and Grove, Oklahoma, all playing playoff games. We'll have those highlights right here tomorrow night.
Looking forward to that. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget the morning news starts at 5 a.m. and let's make it a great tomorrow.
Salon service is provided by